back to the IMDb Live at New York Comic Con 2017. And ladies and gentlemen, we all love Netflix. Netflix takes up a lot of our time. It's destroyed my relationship with my wife, I'll be honest with you and stuff. There's very few shows that we actually enjoy together, but we're going to talk to creators of one of those shows right now, man. There's a show that if you love good writing, if you love good drama, if you love great performances and thought-provoking human essays, my God, you have to be watching Black Mirror. Give it up for the creators of Black Mirror, Charlie Brooker and Annabelle Jones, ladies and gentlemen. I said that wrong. You're the creator and you're the exec producer, but still, you guys work on it together. Let's go back to the beginning. In the UK, what was the show you were doing? Newswipe? Weekly Wipe?
I do a show in the UK. I've done, my background has been in comedy, which often surprises people who come to Black Mirror and maybe don't see it as the fun parade that I do. So in the UK, I do a show called Weekly Wipe, and I do an end-of-year wipe show, which is kind of like a Daily Show style summary of the year. That's kind of my background, was doing comedy stuff.
So how did one jump from that to that? Where were you? What network was it?
Well, we were doing stuff for Channel 4 in the UK. I do stuff for the BBC as well.
Okay.
And then in about 2008. I did a show called Dead Set, which is a zombie series, and the premise was that there's a zombie apocalypse while a series of the reality show Big Brother is on air, and the 10 housemates in Big Brother are the only people in the UK who don't get killed, and of course they're 10 of the biggest idiots you could imagine. And so it's a ridiculous premise, but we played it straight, and we got away with it. Riz Ahmed was in it. It did really well. And so Channel 4 said, "Will you come up with something else?" And I thought, well, I was always a big fan of shows like The Twilight Zone and Hammer House of Horror.
Oh, I loved Hammer House of Horror.
House of Horror.
Yes.
So horrible.
It was.
So horrible. So heartless and a pitiless show. And so I thought that's what's missing from television, and then the first episode we had to pitch was the pig one. That was an interesting afternoon.
That was the easiest way to sell this show to anybody, because I was like, you got to watch this show Black Mirror, and they're like, why? And I said, then I would describe the pig episode, and they're like, you're fucking kidding me. They're like, what's he do? I was like, you got to see it, man. Spoilers, he does it. Like, it was amazing. And then it was like, that was the easy one, and I could definitely see the connectivity to humor, or coming from the world of humor from that. But a lot of them don't even have like a lighter edge to them. Some of them can be just downright dark, man, and heartbreaking as well.
Oh yeah, I think you can, we always say you can psychologically profile someone based on which is their favorite Black Mirror episode.
Oh my God,
like
that's
white
funny.
bear people you've got to really look out for.
Right.
Basically, yeah.
Now, the people that you probably like to be around are the San Junipero people. You won an Emmy for writing that?
We did. We won. We did. That was a nice surprise, wasn't it? That was nice.
And one of those things that you're writing it, you're never thinking, oh, this will win an Emmy or something. Were you even thinking, like, did you know when you started it that would go jump overseas as well?
No, I mean, it was basically, when I was writing it, it was twofold. One, it was the first episode I'd written for Netflix. That was, although that wasn't the first in the order we put them out, and it was the first one written. And a couple of things were going on. One was that I'd read somebody online moaning and saying, oh, now they've taken the show to Netflix, it will get all American. So I thought, okay, fuck you. It's set in California. And then it was a deliberate attempt to do a different tone for the show and expand what the show was. But it was really gratifying to see that people took it to heart, and it worked. We got away with it.
It's honestly like, it's one of those things where when I watched the episode, I was like, I think that's going to be my new theology. I'm going to believe in that. If you got to believe in something after life, it's like, download me where I can hang out with people I like.
Would you stay in the 80s? Where would you go?
I would probably go to 1986. I was 16. No, I wouldn't do that. I would go till when I was 18, 19, I was hanging out with my friends years before, like, I'd make a movie and stuff. Just building what that person who would become, who would make those movies. That's where I'd choose to eternally live. I'd probably go young as well. I'll be honest with you, I'd probably choose to be a young woman as well, just like they did.
Yeah, why not?
Now, making an anthology series, Annabelle, can't be easy, because if you're doing like a show with 4 living sets that you're like, okay, in this scene we're in the living room, in this scene we're at the bar and stuff, you can plot your season pretty well. When you're doing an anthology show, every script, it's like now we're going 100% new places. Everything we did before is not going to be useful. How difficult?
What you're saying is, why bother?
Yeah,
and I think
why?
you're right. Yeah, utterly grueling. But they're all, you know, to sound very pretentious, we think of them all as their separate films, and they're crude and structured.
I don't think that's pretentious. I think you're absolutely right.
Well, that's good. And I think as because we do view them like that and they're structured like that, I think we're very lucky in that we attract a lot of good directors who want to work like that. So Jodie Foster's doing one for us in this next season, wonderful, and David Slade and lots of great guys. So it's an honor to be working with these people.
When you go out in the world and in terms of meeting people who are like, I love the show, is that how you were able to get somebody like Jodie Foster? She's like, oh, I love the show. You're like, why don't you come direct an episode?
Yeah, I think they like the creative freedom that Netflix and we, you know, all strive to give them. But I think it ultimately has to be the script. It has to be the idea. The idea has to resonate and mean something to them. So we sort of think, you know, which director we think would like the material, almost second guess, and then we'll go and meet people. And if they think it's not too shit, then that's good.
Good plan. In the process, like let's say you write an episode, and sometimes in TV it'll say some person's name, but a bunch of people wrote on it. But these seem very author-driven. So when you see someone's name, it's like that's their episode. So in the episodes that you've written, are you the first person that sees what he writes?
Yeah.
Probably down the line. Have you ever looked at a script and been like, fuck no, Charlie? Or has there ever been a moment
Try harder.
Really?
Be more brutal. No.
That's you? You're the voice of cruelty?
You said that the other day.
Yes, yeah. Sorry. No, I mean, there's a sort of balance of, I think he delights in trying to appall me, which obviously creates great results. And I sort of challenge him to sort of, I don't know.
Well, it's weird.
It's got to earn its place, you know. So often Charlie gets so prolific and has so many amazing, preposterous ideas, and I'm sort of like, right, okay, why would I use that technology? Explain to me that, and then he'll build the world to justify the idea, and then it all just evolves.
Yeah, you have. I mean, you're like the most pedantic sounding board, like in a brilliant way.
I think that is a compliment. I would take it.
It's because we're both really pedantic, so we'll get into fiddly little arguments about like how something would work, because a lot of our job is product design, we realized as well. We're sort of designing nightmarish gizmos that then come true. We should be patenting this stuff and billing Apple for it, really.
And making money.
And making, yeah.
Let's go.
It's outrageous.
Yeah.
How does one, now I agree, I think the comedy button in People is very close to the scary button, or the button that unnerves people as well. So if you can make people laugh, chances are you can do other things to them as well. You could control other emotions. Is it thrilling to go from like, hey, I know how to make them giggle, to like, I really know how to get under their skin, where they carry me long after they've watched the show?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. It feels like a similar muscle in the brain, in that the brain has muscles. It feels like a similar, because often what I'm doing is thinking up worst case scenarios, which it's a lot of comedy is that basically.
Right.
So certainly in the season we've got coming out, we've varied the tone again quite, because we're trying to keep things surprising. We've got probably more variance in tone than we've had before. We haven't skimped on the nastiness and the unpleasantness. There's still plenty of that, but we've got moments that are more playful than we've ever done before. We've got a couple of moments of overt comedy that we've tried our hand at, and that kind of thing. So it's interesting to be able to. Some of our episodes are psychotic, frankly. The mood swings in them coming up. I don't know what's been going on.
Well, like even in something like San Junipero, which isn't even the most sinister, it's the least sinister, but it's written with such intelligence. This is what I appreciate about it so much. It trusts that the audience will get there. You don't give everybody everything up front where you're like, hey man, these kids are in computers and they're not kids at all, and blah, blah. You start this story and people start giving information, little pieces of information. You're like, wait, what does that mean? What does she mean? Like I saw her in the 80s or something like that. It's a consideration for the audience that most authors don't show. In film and TV, we're usually taught to like tell everybody what's going on at every given moment so that everybody's caught up. And you have this kind of freedom to be like, I believe the audience is way smarter than people give them credit for. They'll catch up, and more importantly, they'll catch up when it matters most, right before the thing ends. So they go, oh.
That's very kind of you, because I thought it was just bad craftsmanship on my part. I thought it was just ignorance of like how the act structure is meant to work and, and that kind of thing. That's very kind of you. I think that it's sometimes it's useful. Sometimes it makes things almost easier to write in a way if you know there's a big set of rules that you're not going to divulge to the viewer straight away. It means that you've got a limited space to maneuver, and it actually weirdly makes writing the dialogue faster, I found, in some ways.
That's ingenious, man. The show comes back when?
Soon. I'm not allowed to say when, are we? It's very soon. It's before the end of the year. It's this year.
It's coming this year.
Imminent. Imminent.
Last year there was remember? There was a Christmas episode. Are you guys doing that again?
We've got an episode with Christmas is mentioned in one of our episodes, and we're doing another one of our episodes. We did a Christmas one. It came out earlier than that in the UK, but I think it did land on Netflix around Christmas.
I had to watch it like bootleg on
the one with John Hamm, White Christmas.
Yes.
So we're doing another one that's a bit like that. We're doing another Treehouse of Horror episode this season,
Is that what you're calling
which is an anthology within an anthology.
But with someone more good looking.
Right.
Who could be more good looking than John Hamm? And in that episode, we've deliberately turned on a bit of an Easter egg hose as well for fans of the show. We've got lots of references to other episodes and stories, and so I'm hoping people are going to like that.
I love it so much. You guys, as far as I'm concerned, have saved, revived, and made better the anthology series. Give it up for Charlie and Annabelle, ladies and gentlemen.
Very much.
That's all the time we got for IMDb Live from the New York Comic Con. I just want to thank a few people, man. The good folks at IMDb, the good folks at Twitch, where we've been streaming, the good folks at Reed Pop, who put on the show. Thanks for watching all our coverage. IMDb has a new Twitch channel if you want to check that out. Remember, folks, there are cons everywhere. This is a fantastic Comic-Con. If you ever get a chance to come to New York, come to this Comic-Con. But there are local cons all over. You don't have to travel that far, man. Go to a con. You will find your people, like-minded individuals who think and dream like you. Have a great con, everybody. See you later.